So my name is Shamma Raghib, and I am currently working quite a few different hats at the moment. So the first hat is what I really love doing is with Colibra. Colibra is a company which is currently a $2.3 billion valuation. It's a unicorn. It started out in Belgium. So basically it started off in Belgium, in Brussels, and then migrated basically to the USA. So now it's a US-based company. And I've been with them ever since 2015.
Mhm.
So with a short break in the middle because I had to move to Australia. But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm currently working there as a SaaS transformation manager.
Mhm.
What that really means is I'm helping customers through the journey of migrating their entire ecosystem of Calibra to the SaaS environments,
Mhm.
and it's been really amazing. I've learned a lot. I've had to let's say coordinate with a lot of different teams. I had to coordinate with the customers, building different kinds of analytics together with the analytics teams as well, which was really interesting. And apart from that, I do quite a few other things. So I am currently doing angel investing in pre-seed and seed startups,
Mhm.
mostly technology companies and SaaS and AI-based companies, because that's exactly where my specialty lies.
Mhm.
And I'm also advising a couple of SaaS-based startups at the EU region as well as local where I am right now, which is Bangladesh.
That's amazing. That's amazing, actually. And what are your hobbies?
My hobbies. It's quite varied. So it starts all the way from I love spoken word poetry, so I often perform sometimes in spoken word poetry. And I love reading a lot, so I'm an avid reader. You probably can tell a little bit with
Mhm.
my library over there, just beside me.
Mhm.
Mostly nonfiction and things about philosophy and negotiation and the mind, how the mind works. I love that. So I should have probably studied psychology instead of engineering.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I do sports when I have time, so exercise a lot as well, and try to keep healthy, try to eat healthy. So yeah.
That's amazing. And who's your role model?
My role model. To be honest, I've got two. One is my father. My father is absolutely amazing. He's a doctor by profession, but he's also an entrepreneur as a businessman. He's an amazing dad and an amazing husband to my mom.
Mhm.
So obviously, I grew up, seeing a great example in front of me. So I didn't go out and seek out another example.
Yeah.
And the other one is, of course, my mother. She is one of the kindest woman I know, and she's also a business person. She used to be a teacher as well. So I have learned so much from both my parents, and I think of like their upbringing and the way they trained me is really instilled inside of me. So I have the best of both in a way.
Amazing. That's true, actually. Since you talked about, you have been working with SaaS company, and
Yeah.
so we would like to know, like, what has been your journey, like, right from you graduated from your bachelor's to this day. What has been your journey? What has been the road?
Yeah, my route, to be honest, like if a recruiter sees my LinkedIn profile, they'll be very confused. Like, what does she really do? What's her expertise? Actually, it's been quite varied and it has been a blessing in disguise because so ever since I graduated bachelor's in telecommunications engineering, after that I actually joined a wing of Ericsson, which designs and develops Bluetooth chips. So I was a Bluetooth chip engineer. I was doing quality assurance and testing, was building test cases. So that foundation gave me a foundation of not only quality assurance and programming, but also understanding how big tech organizations work. So that was a great experience. After that, I joined another company where I was doing quality assurance of physical technology products as well. So not just software, but physical products, which was really great. Another way to find out about ID-based solutions,
Mhm.
and then I moved on to become more on the business side of things. So I started working with startups, and I started kind of helping out different ecosystems. So I kind of was the founding organizer for Startup Weekend in Leuven in Belgium,
Mhm.
and from there, I had a massive ecosystem built, in the Leuven network, connecting everyone from university to different kinds of institutions that help entrepreneurs, incubators, accelerators, and so on, even investors, of course. So that was really one of the highlights of my journey as well, because that set a foundation for any kind of entrepreneurial journey that I had. So I went on to build a couple of businesses and a couple of startups. One of the startup actually failed, and the other one I had to quit because I was more interested in this unicorn that I'm currently in.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been quite amazing. Like I don't regret any of the different paths that I've taken, all the way from really programming and engineering to, let's say, the more business strategic side of things as well. And now I'm a startup advisor as well, so that means that I'm really in the crux of decision making and processes, and how to grow a company from the ground up. So that's really helped a lot.
Amazing, amazing. So, what are some of the obstacles that you had to go through while being on this journey? I must say, it must be many.
there are, there are many, but the one thing I would say that I learned is, if you don't ask, you will never get. So I
Mm-hmm.
live by this motto. I really, really live by this motto. I am shamelessly asking for stuff, right? And that's fine. Like, if people say no, that's fine. That's their prerogative as well. But it shouldn't stop me from asking something, either asking for help, or asking whether you would like to be part of something, or asking for investors for money and things like that, right? Because all of these I treat it as a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest obstacles, I would say, not as much as obstacle as a sort of a norm that most females in my kind of profile face, is that obviously the gender obstacle, which is, oh, you probably won't be a right fit for this, or
Mm-hmm.
you probably can't do this. And then it takes an extra effort to prove to them that, yes, I can do this. It doesn't mean, just because I'm female, it doesn't mean I cannot do this. So there have been, in my professional journey in the past, experiences where people had to basically say no to me because I was of the female gender, right? So
That happens.
that happens, and it's unfortunate, and that actually triggered me to build Girls Get Funded, because I saw the disparity in female founders being funded by investors. Like, the disparity comes from multiple things, right? The disparity comes from the fact that females do not necessarily have the right platform to feel safe and talk about anything from investments to financial matters, to, hey, I have a new idea, can I build, can you help me build this? And it's slowly changing. I have to say, it's slowly changing because of platforms like yourselves, platforms like Women Who Code, Women in AI, and things like that. But we do have a lot of work to do, I believe, and that's one of the reasons that triggered me to build Girls Get Funded digital incubator program, so that I can help as many female founders as possible to get that initial base
Mm-hmm.
in order to start their entrepreneurial journey.
Awesome, awesome. And what are some of the key achievements you have, achieved throughout this journey?
The key achievement, something that is very recent and I love it, is
Mm-hmm.
Girls Get Funded Bootcamp is totally booked out. I actually had to close the registrations today. So
Mm-hmm.
that means that there is a need for this. Like, this is just the validation I needed
Mm-hmm.
to kind of go forward and go with full valor next year, and restart the campaign and for the boot camps as well. So the boot camp's running November 14th till December this year, for 6 weeks. And each week we are training the founders in a new topic. And the whole week they have, in order to go through the topic and find out about different kinds of segments, like going out there and well, maybe not out there, but maybe virtually in this
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, but going and asking customers, is this what you really need?
Mm-hmm.
So, just the validation of their ideas and things like that. So I really feel like this is one of my most recent achievements. But overall, like, I and it's partly thanks to my dad and mom. Like, I have a never give up attitude, which means that, um, you know, first of all, shamelessly asking for things, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
then never giving up what I really believe in, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to pivot, like it's okay to change tactics, but it's not okay to believe in that vision that you have, the bigger vision, which is for me, which is going more and more towards an equality in the funding landscape.
Awesome, awesome. So, since you have mentioned get girls get funded, so would you like to shed some light on this project that you're working on?
Absolutely, yeah. So Girls Get Funded, it started very recently. It started in May. And I was trying to find out different incubators which are female focused digital. But what I found out was there are female digital incubators, but they're actually quite expensive for female founders. And most of them don't have enough description in their programs in order for a female founder to feel confident that, okay, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to pay for this, and kind of go through the whole journey. What really triggered me is, we need a platform where there is no much distraction. So there is a behind Girls Get Funded. There is a platform of membership access where you get only the entrepreneurs who are in your cohort, plus all the coaches and all the angels, investors, and things like that, who are in the ecosystem to support you as you go through your journey. So there are advisors as well. There are guests who come in from VCs. We have in this cohort, we have a guest coming in from Y Rockets as well, Yellow Rockets VC. And then now we are partnering up with different in like networks like Global Investor or Arctic 15. And, as long as we have these ecosystems supporting us, it's a great way to support this female entrepreneurship, idea generation, and the journey that they go from all the way from idea towards having a pitch deck that's good enough for them to kickstart their, let's say, fundraising or pre-seed, pre-revenue journey as well.
Awesome. This sounds really interesting. I'm going to check out your website actually after this
Thank
call.
you. Please
Great,
do.
great. So, what is one piece of advice would you like to give to our, budding engineers or to,
Yeah.
to entrepreneurs, just to,
Mhm.
who want to get into tech job or, want to start something of their own or maybe just follow their dreams?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love to say that, you don't have to stick to one kind of genre. You can be an engineer just like me, and then, also be, let's say, business savvy a little bit. But you can also explore. Like, if you are very much into programming, that's good. But then seek out those who are not into programming. Don't stay in your own bubble, because that
Mm-hmm.
limits your worldview. So that's the only advice that I will give, irrespective of whether you're an engineer or a business person or a scientist, whatever. Seek out people who are different to you, and then try to see what's the best from them that you can learn, and from what's the best from yourself that you can teach, right? So that's more important.
That's true. That's true. And it's an amazing advice, actually. Okay, so our last question: what is one thing that you want to change in this world and why?
Ooh, there's so many things we could improve and change. It's hard to pick out one, to be honest. Um, But if I did have to pick up one thing that I would change immediately, is shed more light on the female entrepreneurship and the lack of disparity, and try to find creative solutions there. Not just as an incubator, but as a whole drive globally, where we are not only focused on the tech bro culture as we find out there, but also people who are really driving change and really understanding the market. There's a huge market that female entrepreneurs do cater to, right? So the females are consumer lifestyles as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the whole package. And if you are not concentrating on this part of the overall human being, whatever cohort you call it, um, you are missing out on that side. You are missing out 50% or even more of the population that you could tap into, and this is market that you are losing. This is market value that you're losing. So I would really want to change that disparity, whether it's financial disparity in salary, whether it's a funding disparity amongst women entrepreneurs. I would love to see more change there.
maybe disparity that you see, when you are given some responsibility at work, at
Absolutely.
so even that is even a big challenge. So yeah, so I totally agree with you, and I can totally acknowledge that some of the issues that you have raised are quite kind of uh, popular, I would say, in our tech industry. So yeah, I think that's it from my side.